Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 on how to approach the VCE English exam for 2020. In this section, I'm going to go through an approach for reading time and a couple of tips and tricks and starting points for your study to get you on the right path for success. First and foremost is your reading time. This is one suggestion on how to structure your reading time. Of course, if you have other ideas, that is more than fine. This is just one approach. In the reading time, you have 15 minutes and you are not allowed to use a pen. So it's really important that you have a game plan so that you're feeling calm and you're readying yourself for your excellent 3 essays that you're about to write. What we suggest is that you start with section A and looking at the 2 prompts that are being presented to you. You need to go with the most viable option that immediately presents itself. Don't overthink this and go with your first instinct. Lock in a bit of an option in your mind before jumping to section B. Have a look at the comparative text and repeat the same process. Which one immediately presents itself to you as an essay topic that you can answer confidently? Whilst that is sort of marinating in your mind, jump to analysing argument and the article. Make a note of how many texts you have to analyse and if there are any visuals. Start reading it and read it in full at least once. Note the contention and any obvious techniques that jump out to you. This should take you about 10 minutes. Return to section A and B. Lock in a topic now confidently in your mind. You don't want to be chopping and changing topics once it's pens up. You want to be confident. And lastly, and the most important part, is read section C for the second time. Reading it twice in reading time is going to save you vital minutes in writing the essay when it's pens up. A couple more tricks of the trade for section A in particular. It's really important that when you are studying for section A and section B, that you include and look at how textual elements all operate together to form an overall effect or view or idea in the text. And these are some of the headings you should include in your notes, so please take a note of these as you're listening. You should consider characters and characterization, 2 different things, relationships and what the author might be saying about relationships in the text, context, and that's social, political, and historical, the narrative voice, the structure and sequence of ideas, symbols, language, concepts, and issues. Even structure can be a really interesting point to talk about in a how question. Is your novel structured in a linear fashion? Is it a circular narrative? Does it jump back and forth with the use of memories? I know Station 11 does that in particular. What is that telling us about the bigger ideas in the text? When you look at a topic as well, it's really important that you see it as something that you must challenge, discuss, or evaluate based on your understanding of the novel. Simply repeating the topic and then summarizing the novel is a surefire way to not do very well on the exam. And that leads me to my final point. Be wary of summarizing the story or just adding in ideas because they sound good. This also includes memorizing essays and then trying to tweak them to the essay topic on the day. Your examiner knows if you're memorizing essays, so please avoid that as well. With quotes, our next most important thing, the best way to do and to memorize quotes is to link them to key character moments, themes, or turning points in the text. That way you know that they are definitely valid points to remember. Short, sharp quotes are best. I would say maximum 2 lines. Somewhere between 15 to 20 quotes ought to be memorized to either text. It seems like a lot, but if they're quite short, then it's really doable. And ideally, you should integrate these quotes in your analysis. Little island quotes hanging out by themselves are definitely not recommended. A couple of questions to see you off and finish off this part of our video. For the comparative, you need to ask yourself these 3 key questions, and you might start here for your studies. How do the characters align or differ in either of my texts? That's sometimes the easiest place to start when you're studying. Therefore, are the characters vehicles for themes or ideas in the text as well? Are they representations of bigger ideas? And how does each text conclude? And is the impact the same in both on the reader? So what is the final message, and are they similar or different in either text? For your analysing argument, it's important to consider, if I've got more than one article, how are they similar and how are they different? This can usually be seen in the contention, the tone as well. And have I considered the background information and how it shapes the purpose of the article? Absolutely vital to read your background information and apply it to your understanding of the text. Time to go and study. Here are some further resources for you, also linked in the comments below, for you to go and start your studying. Good luck and all the best for the final exams.